Hello everyone, my name is Ahmad Zubair Sharifi and I am your IELTS instructor. In this video, we will talk about the right way to prepare for the IELTS test. Well, first of all, when you want to prepare for the IELTS test, you have to have a very structured plan for when you want to take the test and how you're going to approach and what is your required score. These are the things that you have to analyze before you go and prepare for the IELTS test. First of all, you have to have some information about the IELTS test. IELTS stands for International English Language Testing System. It's basically an international test for assessing your English language ability. If you want to go for your studies or you want to migrate to English-speaking countries, then it's very, very important for you to have IELTS academic or general training test. Now, IELTS is for those people who want to go and educate and go for migration. Also, there's a common misconception when taking the IELTS test. A lot of people think that because IELTS is prepared by Cambridge and it's an English test, it's a test that is prepared in Great Britain, that's why you have to have British English, which is not the case. The name suggests that it is an international test, so it doesn't matter if you have American accent or British accent, or you have understanding of American English or British English, you can still take the test. Also, there are two main organizations that conduct IELTS tests. We have the IDP and we have British Council. Now, both of these tests are the same. Both of these organizations conduct the test or take the test. And it doesn't matter if you take the IDP or the British Council. British Council is based in UK or United Kingdom. And then we have IDP, which is based in Australia. But both these tests are the same. Now, let's talk about IELTS. Now, there are two main types of the IELTS test. We have IELTS Academic, which is for those people who want to go for educational purposes to English-speaking countries. And we have the General Training IELTS, which is for those people who want to migrate to an English-speaking country and work there or do whatever they want. Also, this is a common question that where can I take the IELTS test? Now, in a lot of countries, in most countries, IELTS has a registered test center. So you have to go to the test center, which is most of the times supervised by British Council, and you have to take your test there. But also nowadays, the British Council has introduced an online version of the test, and this is for those who want to take the test at the convenience of their home. Now let's talk about the right way to prepare for the IELTS test. Now, a lot of people, when they go about taking their IELTS test, first of all, you have to be familiar with the format of the test. It's very important for you to get familiar with the format of the test and to understand the different components of the test. In IELTS, we have four sections or four skills. We have listening, reading, writing, and speaking. And you have to be familiar with how all these skills are conducted. In the listening, for example, you will have simultaneous listening where you will have to answer some questions and at the same time you will be listening to the audio. In the reading section, you will have a bunch of articles and you have to read some questions and you have to answer them based on those passages. In the writing section, you will have two tasks. The first task will be a graph or a bar chart or a pie chart, and you basically have to write 150 words about it, which is report writing. And in the second task, you have to write an essay of 250 words minimum. And in the writing section, you will be asked to complete an interview with a native speaker, which is for 11 to 14 minutes. After you gain a thorough understanding of the format of the test, which is the first step for your preparation, in the second step, you have to assess your level. And the best way to assess your level is to take a mock test in IELTS. You have to take a mock test, and there are many resources online. You can just go to Google or even to YouTube, and you can find a lot of resources where you can take a mock test of the IELTS test. Also, they have some resources in the British Council website. We can go and check it out. But it's very, very important for you to take the mock test and to understand where you stand right now. For example, let's say you take the mock test and you score 5 bands. Now you understand that in order for me to get to that 6 or 6.5, which is the required score by many universities and educational institutions, you have to work for 1 month or 2 months or 3 months. So that's why it's very, very important that you have to assess your level, and then you understand how long does it take for me to prepare and what is my current level, and based on that, what I need to do to prepare for the IELTS test. In the next step, for your preparation for the IELTS test, it is important that you develop your English language skills. Now, a lot of people make the mistake that if I practice the IELTS test, the IELTS mock test, my level of English will improve and I will be able to score and get the required score. But that's not the case. If you want to score well in the IELTS test, first of all, you have to develop your English language abilities in other skills, for example, listening, reading, writing, and speaking. Without improving your level of English, it's very hard for you to score, because when you're taking the test, you're just assessing your current level. You're not learning anything new. You learn new things when you expose yourself and when you immerse yourself to English content. For example, for listening, you can listen to podcasts, TED Talks, and to various resources to improve your listening skills. For reading, you can read newspapers, magazines, and books. I think it's very, very important for you to have time for reading. I think it will develop your other skills as well. So you have to read books, magazines, newspapers, whatever you can find in English language. And for speaking skills, of course, you can find people to have a conversation with, or you can observe other people or other native speakers and understand how they communicate, and then you can imitate them for a while. For your writing skills, I think it's very important for you to improve your grammar and your vocabulary, because without these two components, your writing skills will not improve. And once you start writing for IELTS and practicing for IELTS, it's very important to have feedback from an English instructor or from an IELTS instructor. And that's why you have to have a tutor to be able to develop your English writing skills. The fourth important component in your IELTS preparation is that you have to practice regularly. You have to practice on a daily basis. And it is very important for you to practice the IELTS test, but I also recommend that you take other English tests that assess your grammar level, your vocabulary level, and your understanding of the overall English. Because just taking the IELTS test, like I said, will just assess your level on that date. It will not give you the indication of what is your current English level. So that's why you have to take the IELTS test, and also you have to take other tests and practice regularly, because without regular practice, you will not be able to achieve your goals. Number 5, you have to develop an understanding of test strategies. And this is where an instructor can help you and assist you to do this. Because without an instructor or without a tutor, you will not be able to understand your mistakes, and you will not be able to understand how to approach the test and how to use different strategies to answer the questions, because it's not all about your English level. It's also about the strategies that you have to take up for each question types. For example, you have multiple choice questions. For those questions, you have to be very strategic to be able to answer these questions. Also, in the next step, it is very important for your IELTS preparation that you seek help and support from other people who have a better English level, or those who have taken the IELTS test. For example, I have taken the IELTS test twice, so I have a good understanding, and I hope I'm qualified enough to give you enough information and sufficient information for how you have to prepare for the IELTS test. So you always have to seek feedback and support from other people who you look up to when you're pursuing your IELTS score. Because especially in the writing and speaking skills, without proper feedback and support, you will not be able to improve your skills and go to the next level. The final point for your preparation is that you always have to stay motivated and confident. And you can do this by persistent effort. You always have to persistently make an effort to do better, and you always have to compare yourself to your past. So you have to start your IELTS journey, and then day after day, of course you will improve. You don't have to compare yourself to others. You have to compare yourself to your past, and you have to see how much improvement you made, and you have to celebrate some of your achievements. And that is one way to stay motivated and stay confident. Preparing for your IELTS test, these are the necessary steps and necessary points that you have to take into consideration in order to achieve your desired score and go for your purposes of education and migration to English-speaking countries. That is the end of today's video. For more educational content and information about international tests, you can like and subscribe our channel. See you in the next video.